Freddie, how has the AIDS thing affected you?
Well,
Which is a very topical,
which it is, yes. Well, I mean, I tell you, listen, I've stopped going out, whatever, and to be honest, I tell you, I've almost become a nun. Really, yeah.
Do you think there's ever a time when people become, too old to rock and roll?
I think that's true, yes.
I mean,
But I mean, I don't think I've quite reached it. I mean, the moment, I don't think it's a fact of being too old to rock and roll. I think you can dance about it as long as you want. It's when I just feel if you find there comes a time where your records aren't selling as much, and then I'd hate to do a downward tread, if you know what I mean, and suddenly still keep going as Queen, doing, say, the lesser venues. I mean, now that I've tasted the top whack, I mean, I would hate to suddenly think that, okay, we can't fill, say, certain auditoriums. I just leave them and do something else.
I don't worry about my age at all, because I know I look beautiful anyway. But having said that, it's that I just don't worry about it. I mean, I just think that sometimes age is a good quality, because I mean, age means experience anyway. And I'm using all the experience that I've gathered all over the years to benefit by. And to be honest, I don't worry about it, because why should anybody worry about age? Because there's nothing to do about it. You can't get younger.
I don't get up every morning and rush to the mirror and say how many lines I've got. I mean, that's the best way to do it as far as I'm concerned. I don't worry, because I mean, if you're going to get old or you look, that's the way it is. No matter facelifts or whatever, no matter how many creams you use or it's just not me, you know. It's just not me.
And so I was thinking that I know there'll be a time where I can't run around on stage, because it'll be ridiculous, you know. And I know when there comes a time when you have to stop. But music will still be my thing, so I mean, I have to think in terms of what I can do. So maybe I'll go into production, or I'll still write songs, because I mean, you can be quite old and not have, you might not have the physical fitness to run around on stage, but you can still write songs. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I just want to pack in as much of life and fun and having a good time as much as I can within the years I have. So I'm not worried about getting younger or getting older. I just know that I just want to live life to the full and spend it.
Do you ever worry that you could end up lonely, rich, and that you could end up a lonely, rich old man when you're 70?
No, because I've answered before. Because I will be dead long before that.
What do you see for yourself, Freddie, in 25, 30 years from now? Ever getting out of the business, working with new acts? Tahiti?
25 years from now?
A lot of sex.
Do you have hobbies?
I have not done. Yeah, a lot of sex.
Because you must have had lots of affairs, I mean, through your life.
Yes, well, I mean, it has been quoted and everything. Yes, I've stopped all that.
You've stopped
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah. It's a bore.
It's a bore.
Yeah.
Do you think sex is
No,
overrated?
Don't say sex is a bore.
No.
Just what I was doing before. You know how you have phases. You know, it's like, you know, people go through phases, and of course, I mean, before, of course, I was very greedy and everything, and all people are greedy, and people always want something more than. To me, sex was fun, and it was, you know, there was a lot of. Well, I was extremely promiscuous. To me, sex was a very integral ingredient to what I was doing. So it was a very major factor of a lot of things I did. But I mean, I would never have sort of thought, oh no, sex and nothing else. You know,
No.
So it was all these things that were, and I was living by them all.
Yeah.
They were all okay, and I was living them to the full. So I mean, okay, it was excess in every direction. Fine, you know. Yeah.
Freddie, how has the AIDS thing affected you?
Well,
Which is a very topical,
which it is, yes. Well, I mean, I tell you, listen, I've stopped going out, whatever, and to be honest, I tell you, I've almost become a nun. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought it's amazing. I learned very hard way. I thought sex was a very important thing to me, and I lived through sex and everything. And now I just realize how amazing. I've just gone completely that way. See, I'm one of those people that can go black to white. You know, I don't like intermediary measures or anything. It's quite easy for me to completely give up. You know, I can give up alcohol at the drop of a hat. Yes, yeah. And yes, it's frightened me to death. And then I've just stopped having sex. Basically.
Have you?
Yes. Yeah.
You've given up sex?
Yeah. I just like titillation now. But I've stopped all that because practicality came into it. And then you weren't talking about.
Yes.
And you know, and I'm also an old bird now, dear. So, and I just thought, you know, and the word solace came into it.
Yes.
And so, you can't say, you have a life of solace and go around fucking half the world. And so it's amazing. And so I've come in, and I don't miss it. I really don't.
So everything was set up, the BBC ground its way into operation, we found a bicycle, and everything was organised, and then Freddie became acutely ill, and I mean really ill, because I talked to his manager, and he explained that he was very ill. But you tend to think in the back of your head, maybe the guy isn't ill, maybe he just doesn't want to do the interview, which is entirely fair enough, maybe he's just being polite. So it's him. He looks amazingly fit and amazingly well until he opens his mouth and sticks his tongue out at you. And then you see a tongue which has got a duffel coat on it. Probably the most unhealthy sight I've ever seen in my life, and I suddenly realised that he had been quite ill and still wasn't well by any means.
It's coming to recognise the fact that it might all be over the more we carry on, the nearer we are to that situation. You know what I mean? Because it's not like early days. After 10 years you think, yes, we're coming. And because of that, I sort of have it in the back of my mind. I think it obviously will end. Could end any day now. That's more my motivation than anything. I've just got more of a drive by thinking that way. Through anything, we will just carry on until one of us drops dead or something. It's just we'll just replace. If I suddenly left, I think they have the sort of mechanism in them. They just replace me. Not easy to replace me, huh? I don't have any aspirations to live to 70.
No.
Really.
No.
Really. And I don't sound sort of morbid.
No.
But I know I'm 41.
Yeah.
And 70 is a long way away. And I don't give a damn. And as far as I'm concerned, this is nothing. I have lived a full life. And if I'm dead tomorrow, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I really have done it all. I really have. Because I tell you, I'm not giving any of my stuff away when I'm dead. I'm going to hoard. I want to be buried with all my stuff.
Really?
Yes, why not? Every damn sou.
Do you think you're going to get to heaven?
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to?
No, hell's much better. Look at the interesting people that you're going to meet down there.
How would you like to be remembered?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Dead and gone. I don't really think about, my God, when I'm dead, are they going to remember me? I don't really think about it. It's up to them. When I'm dead, who cares? I don't. Oh, darling, I'll be dead and gone, dear. I'll be fucking starting a new life somewhere else, dear. Yeah. He's looking after me.